Okay, so hello everyone. This is the beginning of the stream, and the stream is telling me that we are live. However, I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me. So, hi. If you can hear me, say something outrageous in the chat, okay? Like whatever comes to mind, some funny joke or something. Say something, and then at least I will know that you guys can hear me and all of that stuff. So, I'm just going to wait because I don't want to give the game away until you guys can tell me that you can hear me. So, no, nothing. Nobody can hear me. I'm just assuming. Okay, we hear you. We hear you. Awesome. So, let me kickstart this live stream. Today we're not gonna do watercolor. I always come to you with watercolors that are I'm just coloring, right? And it's an already made design, or at least I make the design in advance. I sketch it, and then all you see is me drawing the line art and then coloring, right? So I thought to myself, like, I don't always do that, and I sometimes sketch very lightly, and then I just go with the flow, and I just make flowers and so on. So people have asked, how do I do that? How do I make my my designs, or what's the process basically? So it all starts with a pencil, and my pencil is eaten, and it's not eaten by me, it's eaten by my cat. So this is a very well loved pencil. It kind of keeps me from putting it into my mouth because I know my cat has been chewing on it, but I use a hard pencil. I know not everybody likes it, but I actually hate the pencils that are soft, because the graphite goes everywhere and it mixes with the paints, and it's not something that I enjoy. Oh, hi. Hello, Victor. Hello, Marlena. Hello, everyone, by the way. Right? So, again, what do we do today? Pencil. You're going to have a eraser. You can notice my eraser is also chewed by my cat. I know. He likes erasers, and he steals them, and he plays with them. So, anyway, an eraser, okay? And then a bunch of Micron pens, and probably I'll just use one of them, but yeah, that's all. I use the Arches watercolor paper, and I use it in a block. So the block is like looking like this. This is Arches cold press. It's a little bit smaller than an A4, okay? And this is what I like to use. I like to do it directly on the block because I can rotate the block as much as I want. So one tip when you're designing or when you're doing line art, it's easier where you can move your block in the direction that you need, because it's sometimes easier for your hand to do a certain motion than doing it in the opposite direction. Like if I want to make a flower or a leaf that goes that direction, I may want to turn it because it's easier for me to pull towards my body than to do the other part. So anyway, I heard a little birdie told me that it's somebody's birthday today, so I'm not gonna name names, but happy birthday. Okay. So let's get started. What do I do first? Sometimes I don't do any sketching in advance, but I like to kind of make some circles to where the main flowers are going to be. Of course, I'm thinking in my head, what flowers am I going to use? And I think I'm going to use as many flowers as I want. I want to use peonies, roses, zinnias or dahlias, maybe some anemones. I'm going to use different type of leaves and so on. So, I'm just going to make a composition that incorporates all of them. So how do I start? Blank page. I always think I'm going to leave a small border. So I'm marking about 0.5 centimeter, because if I'm going to frame it, I'm going to need to know kind of where to stop with my design. And then I'm starting pretty much in the middle, and then I move outward. Okay, so I'm going to say this is going to be a flower here, and I hope you can see on the screen I'm drawing just a circle. It's not the flower, it's not nothing. Okay, it's just the circle, and I'm thinking I want to make a flower that kind of comes right next to it. Okay, then maybe another flower here, and this flower is going to be something like this. It's going to be a zinnia. It's probably going to be a peony. Maybe another flower here, and then some other flower here, another one. So I'm just doing the circles where I think the flower should be. I'm going to draw this kind of weird shape. This is going to be the shape. I'm going to do some berries here, and I'm going to do another weird shape here, and these are going to be some berries here. And what else? Probably another flower here, and the rest is gonna be leaves. I'm not sure if I should do small flowers. Okay, today, hello Laura, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Okay, in this hour of doing stuff. Okay, maybe I wanna have some small things here, like I'm gonna do some small circles randomly. So this is how I plan, right? I'm just doing it very lightly. You probably don't even see it. Okay, I don't even know if you can see. Maybe if I tilt it, it's very light, right? I'm not pressing, I'm not doing anything. I'm just considering you know, what are the items that I want to have. These are gonna be some other flowers, and maybe I'll just do them like this, and then the leaves are gonna be filling in the space. Okay, and that's about it. Okay, and now that was it for the sketching. So I just put, okay, hello Florine. I just put where my big flowers are and where the other ones are, and then we're gonna go boldly with the Micron pen, and we're gonna just commit, and we're just gonna draw it, because this is kind of what I do a lot of times. The reason why I'm using this, let's talk about it a little bit. This is called the PIXY graphic one, and this has a plastic tip. This paper has some rough spots because it's a cold press paper, it's not hot press paper. So the normal Micron pen, which is this one, the 08 or the 05, which has a felt tip, sometimes doesn't work very well on this rough paper, so you get splotches of no color and so on. So I like to use the plastic tip because this one really works and really goes. Okay, and we're gonna start. I'm gonna start with let's make this one, instead of a peony, a rose, and this is what we're gonna do, a peony here. So a rose, a peony, maybe another rose, another peony, and then some flowers in between. Okay, so roses, how do I start it? I just start from the center. I make some parts, and then I'm just drawing some semicircles or some circles around it. These are petals. And they all interleave into each other. Okay, and then they become more and more bigger. And they cover more and more ground. Okay. This is a frontal flower. I'm not doing it on the side yet. And the peony is going to be on the side. But this is going to be a frontal flower. So I hope you can see. Very easy drawing. So I'm just drawing things that go around the flower. That's it. what I might want to think of is some of the petals and some of the leaves might be on top of this other flower, but you know, for now, that's it. Okay, this was a rose. I'm hoping that everybody understood that. Anyway, what's up, people? What are we gonna talk about besides the composition, right? So, like, of course, I'm going to talk about the composition and everything, and I'm going to rotate now because now I want this one to face this direction. This is gonna be a peony, and I want it to face this direction. It's easier for me if I rotate. Okay. So I'm going to rotate the page and you're going to see it. And the peony starts a little bit like this. You make the first petal, which is the petal in front. Okay? Simple. Then we're gonna go with a petal to the side and then it's gonna be like this. And then with another petal to the side and it's gonna go like this. Yeah? And then we're gonna have a bunch of petals here, and these petals are turned inwards. Then we're gonna do the center, and the center is full of this kind of tiny things. Like it has all this stamen in the center, right? So this is how it looks like, right? So this is the center. Hello, Adriana. Welcome. Okay, then we're gonna have now the petals are gonna start, you know, in different directions. So this is gonna have a different petal here, and this is gonna be turned like this. This has a petal that goes like this in this side. Like the flower opens up on this side a little bit, right? So I'm going to, and it's kind of turning a little bit. Okay, and then we're gonna have either more petals around, right? Because we're gonna have more petals and we're gonna have more petals in the back, and you can make it as fancy as you want, right? And now I'm going to start doing some leaves. Okay, this is kind of how, and I'm going to turn into the direction where I want the leaves to be. So I want to have some leaves here. And what type of leaves should we do? I'm going to do like this. I'm going to do a leaf that has a few of these notches in it, right? And then I'm going to go around like this. So we're gonna do different type of leaves. Okay, that's one leaf. Then I'm going to do a smaller leaf on this side. The same way. So, and then I continue to rotate. This is very important because you want to keep the flow and you want to rotate. The details of the flowers you add at the end. You're not going to add all the details and all the hatching and everything now. Now it's not the time for that, right? Now it's the time to add leaves and decide how you're going to do it. Like, for example, this is another leaf that comes from inside. The important part is that you need to tuck them under the flowers. That will make it look really nice. Okay, so by the way, I'm not very good at tutorials, so don't ask me to to do tutorials because I'm not very good at it, but I guess you kind of get the gist of it. Okay, so I'm going to do that type of flower, and then I'm going to rotate again. And then here I said I wanted some other pieces, so I actually wanted here berries. And the way berries, I'm going to follow the shape, so there's going to be some berries here, some berries here, some berries here, and it's going to all melt together. So how do I do that? I start with some circles, because basically that's what berries are. Berries are circles, and I'm going to tuck some circles behind and I'm going to make some circles in front, and then maybe this one it's even behind all of them. Okay, and then I'm going to start with this cluster here again. This is gonna be a bigger one here, maybe. This is gonna be on its own. So tuck some berries in behind each other, and some berries can be on their own, right? And that's okay, right? That, I think that should be enough of berries. Now I know that I want to do the lines from the berries, right? The stems, but I also know I kind of want some leaves, some special leaves to be on top, or you know, phoning from this one. So what I'm going to do is maybe I'm actually going to rotate again. Wow, I'm rotating a lot, right? So which type of leaf do I want? I want a leaf that goes a little bit like this. So there's gonna be a leaf that is gonna go behind. I'm going to follow with my eyes. Okay, so I tuck that one in behind. And then it's gonna be another leaf that is probably gonna be like this. You see how hard it is to do a leaf that you don't do it in the correct direction? Okay. And then we're gonna have a smaller leaf that goes like this. And the smaller leaf goes behind this flower. So, you know, this is like design-wise, this how it's gonna look like. And I'm going to do a different type of leaf here. 2 leaves that are gonna be different. These are pretty much weird ones. So I'm going to have some other leaf coming like this. Okay. And now I can do the stems. Okay, now I can actually do the stems, and now I can actually do it. I'm going to need a smaller one because I'm gonna need a 0.5, so I can actually do something very so the way these stems go, you know, they come from all these berries are connected to each other. So I'm just gonna connect them like this. And the connection goes like this. So, you know, some of these stems are gonna go behind, some of these stems are not gonna look like, but it's going to be every one is going to be connected. And now you can clearly see that this one is in front of the leaf. Okay, otherwise you would have pretty much trouble doing it. I'm seeing that I'm missing maybe a berry here, because that place is a bit empty, and here I'm missing a few. Okay, so you know, maybe I'm gonna make one that goes behind this. Okay, so far so good, not a lot of issues, right? Then we're gonna start making some of these flowers in the corner, and once we do them, I hope everybody is on board with me here, right? Then we're gonna fill in everything with different type of leaves and different things. So what did I say? I said I wanted this one to be a rose and this one to be another peony to the side. So, you know, I'm going to do the same thing, just that this rose might be a bit smaller. Okay, so I'm going to start with the center. I'm going to do 2 semicircles that kind of interlace each other, and then I'm going to start making the petals. And the petals are okay. You're gonna see me do. You just go around it basically. That's all. Why would you use a Micron pen? That's because it's archival. So archival pen means it's not gonna disappear the ink in time. It's not gonna yellow, but it's also waterproof. So it's perfect for using watercolors, right? Okay, I'm gonna have to rotate again, rotate again, rotate again. We're gonna do a peony here, and this is gonna be a tinier peony. Again, starting with the middle. I'm going to do the smaller part here. I'm going to do this other part here. And this is my like go-to peony. Oh, hello, Andre. Welcome. How's everybody? And, you know, again, here I'm going to make the middle. This is the most important. And then I'm just gonna, basically I'm draping this shape into petals, okay? This is what I'm doing. I'm going around the shape with petals of varying lengths, and I'm doing these curved lines extra to signify that the flower is just the petal is just turned into its side. Okay. Maybe also this one is turned a bit, and maybe we're gonna have another one here. Okay, and then I'm going to tuck in some leaves, and I'm going to unite it with this one. Okay, so because the leaves needs to go into this direction, okay, I'm going to turn it around again, and maybe it's gonna look like this. I know, it's weird. It's the best way to do it, as long as it kind of it follows your hand. Like if your hand can actually reach in there, then it's easier to make, right? Of course, you don't need to fill all the space in between because there's gonna be more flowers and more stuff coming in. But this is what we do. Okay. Do you guys have had a good evening? I'm hoping you did, or a good day. This is Wednesday. I mean, it's okay. I'm assuming. And I'm going to try a different type of leaf. This is more of a oval shape of leaf, like this. I like to vary the leaves. Because then on the different type of leaves I can do different colors, and then the composition is nicer, right? Do I have a set amount of leaves that I always use, or like sometimes I'm very fast and then I only do this type of leaf, which doesn't, in hindsight, is not always nice. So, you know, trying to do it differently. If you're wondering what I'm doing, is I'm doing the middle stem because these are special flowers, special leaves that I'm going to do here. Okay, and then maybe I'll even tuck in some different type of flowers and leaves here. And this is a more complicated one. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. I'll decide what to do in here. In here, maybe I'll do a smaller one. So sometimes it's nice to vary the leaves. So this is a very simple type of leaf. Has many leaves on one stem. and then it looks like this. Okay, so I kind of finalize this side. Okay, and I'm going to move on. This is again some berries. This is again a very nice flower, which, you know, we can try different flowers. For example, this one I can try to do nice zinnia. So let's see how that will look. The zinnia is gonna be into this direction. So let's see, zinnia or dahlia, or however you want to call it. I'm going to use the Micron pen for a little bit. This is more delicate, so I need a nib that is better. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the center. It's always best on every flower to start with the center. Okay, just a quick tip from me. It's easier if you start with the center. So I'm starting with this kind of tear shape. Okay, and then in here I'm making an inverted tear shape basically. So I'm making like a triangle here, and then I'm making this pattern. Triangle petal, right? Because you have to think, what are the petals? Then I know that zinnias have some tiny petals that are very close to the central. They go into all sorts of different directions, but they're very thin, and then it starts to move. So I'm going to do this direction, this direction, this direction. You'll see what I mean. And then I'm going to fill the upper part. The upper part is always smaller because the flower faces towards us, but then you don't see the entire thing. And this part is always going to be bigger. Okay, so let's do it. It's triangle shapes, remember. Okay, it's super easy. So the easiest thing is to draw. Is this triangle, or is this more, oh, which shape is this? Okay, I don't know which shape it is. So I'm making one line like this and one line like this. Okay, and this is the direction. One line like this, one line like this. And the central. One line like this, one line like this. Okay, and then here also. One line like this, one line like this. They're tucked into each other. Okay, we're gonna add the details later on because some parts of it is going to be shifted. Oh, hello Alexandra, welcome. We are doing a big design today. Well, it's not gonna be watercolor, but it's just gonna show you how a design that I usually do transforms, and you'll see also how long it takes me. So what you've seen me do before in live streams is, what I usually do is I did this part in pencil, and then I just trace it. When you do it in pencil, of course, it's easier. Why? Because in pencil, you have the option to erase. Okay? I don't have the option to erase when I do black lines. Like, if I make a mistake, it's going to be a mistake. So that's why when I'm doing black lines directly, I really enjoy it, and I really enjoy to do it with some good movie in the background, because I don't want to be disturbed. Okay, but today we're doing it in a live stream, so I'm going to be a bit slower because I don't want to make mistakes. Okay, so this is coming together. Now I'm going to rotate again. Remember, rotate. Don't be afraid to rotate. I usually don't rotate in live streams because I already have things in Sketch, and because then it's harder for people to follow me. But in this case, because I didn't sketch anything, I really need to get my hand to follow. So the dahlia's leaves, they get bigger as we go more towards the other ones. So they grow. Okay, I think for now I have enough on this side, and now I'm going to fill in the upper part, and the upper part is going to just go into a different direction, right? So we're gonna start here. We're gonna start here. And maybe we're gonna do one here like this. Okay, these are simple shapes. The way you position it, so you have to think about what's the direction of the flower, where does it go, etc., etc. Now, what do I want to do? I want to actually make some leaves. Okay, and the leaves, you know, I'm going to make some nicer leaf that is tucked in right in this. You notice what I do when I have to make leaves. I always start with the middle stem of the leaf. That helps me go around. And then I'm going to do, it's okay because in here I thought I'm going to do some other parts, but I can decide on the go that actually what the design needs is not some berries there, but some leaf, right? almost a problem there. I'm going to do some more leaf here. Again, starting with the middle. You can now notice what I said about the 0.5, okay? Yeah, I'm going to try to do here some smaller flowers. And which flowers should we do? Should we do some anemones? Anemones. Okay. How do you do anemones? You start with a semicircle. I'm gonna start with some petals, and the petals go around it like this. An anemone has about 5 petals. Then there's gonna be definitely a petal that goes this direction, and definitely a petal that goes this direction. Okay, then what happens, so it has 5 main petals, and then you're gonna go around and you're gonna add more petals as you see fit, because usually anemones have more petals than just 5. They just have 5 main ones. Okay, then the center, it's always having this nice stamen. I'm going to try to not do them all in the same direction, right? So that's one anemone. I'm going to make a tiny stem, and I'm going to tuck one in here, and this is going to be maybe from the middle, from the front. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to do here like this. I'm gonna rotate again. What happens is this type of drawing requires a lot of concentration. So my brain is short-circuiting right now because it can't talk anything else other than this, because I'm really trying not to, you know, make mistakes. So apologies if I don't have any fancy things to talk about other than, you know, it's been a really nice weather outside. It hasn't been snowing anymore. Actually, all the snow melted, which is good because my heating in here was pretty much broken. So I'm going to maybe tuck in some petal here and some petal here, and then I'm going to do the stamen in here. it's always good to vary the sizes of your flowers. Okay, why? Because otherwise it's becoming monotone. So one thing that people have asked me on Instagram a lot, they ask me whether I sell my artwork. And so far I haven't sold my artwork, so I wasn't planning to. But there seems to be people that would really enjoy some sort of selling, especially if it's prints or things like that. So I am considering whether some of these designs I'm just going to scan in and turn into prints. I definitely am not going to do prints myself, so I'm not gonna print them and send them in myself, because, well, that's just a recipe for disaster, I think. What else should I do? I think I need a smaller flower here, just something to fill in this gap. So I'm gonna maybe do another anemone in the middle. Or should I do some more leaves? That's the question. What do you guys think? Leaves or another small anemone tucked in between? I'm going to leave that up to you guys, and then I'm going to turn in here. Here, this flower, actually this flower, I want to be a front flower with lots of leaves and petals. So in the meantime, while you guys decide what's going to be here in the middle, I'm going to make this one. So again, how do I start making it? The center, always the center. Okay, so let's start. This flower has like a fuzzy center. Okay, somebody is really trying to contact me. Okay. And the way this flower is going is it starts with the petals that are pretty thin. And then I'm doing like this. So this I'm going to continue rotating, because the way this is going to work is I'm going to do all sorts of petals here. And then I'm going to tuck in petals behind. So the way this helps is because I did a circle, so I kind of know in a circle how the petals are, like how far should I go with the petals. Okay, so I don't go and make it wonky or anything. That's why it's important to have this kind of, I know, lots of rotating. Okay, so I'm going to tuck in some petals like this. I'm going to make them look like they're behind these petals. Okay, and then maybe one more here. Okay, and then I'm going to come in like this. I'm going to pretend that this petal starts and it's in the back, but it's bigger than the other ones, right? So you're gonna have some space in there. So I'm going to pretend the same way with this one, that it goes like this, and then that it continues somewhere in behind. So always think, okay, Adriana says, I think some leaves might go well in the middle. Just my opinion. Okay, that's true. I'll maybe tuck in some leaves coming from here. Okay. I'll have to think which size of leaves I need. And maybe I'll do them, I do some olive leaves maybe. Yes, that would be nice. Thank you, Adriana, for the suggestion. Right? There's way too many flowers here, so it will need some balance with some leaves, right? Some people were asking me how did I learn how to draw, you know, things like that. And I have to say, I learned how to draw by doing and by watching others. So I watched my fair share of YouTube tutorials. I watched my fair share of tutorials online. And I always doodled. So I have lots of notebooks where the only thing that I did the whole day is doodle, and not with sketching or anything, but exactly what I'm doing right now. Just the rough outline of what I need to do. Look at this one. I think it needs a little bit more berries here. Feels a bit weird. Right, and I just filled a page like this. I just went from the center outwards and I just filled the page. Okay, that's about it. Didn't do anything special. I'm going to decide whether it has stamens or not, but yeah, that's nice. So leaves in here. Okay, let me rotate like this. So I'm going to make some leaves that are a bit these are a tiny bit of leaves, like they go around the stem, the stamen. Okay, and these are more like olive type of leaves because they're flat and long. What I might decide is to pretend that there's another leaf here behind it, and it's just going to be peeking out. Okay, peeking out of behind. So I'm drawing it behind this one, so the line is interrupted just to signify that it's behind it. Okay, the same here. I'm just gonna make another leaf. It starts here, right, and it will go like this, and it's going to look like that. Okay, so this is gonna be a leaf. Maybe this is another petal here. So, and this petal comes from behind. Okay, so we filled in this space. Awesome, right? This is how we do it. Always think, and I don't even know, I don't have my notebook close by, but what I used to do as exercise, just do a bunch of lines. So I start with lines like this. So I make 2 lines, and then I do another 2 lines that go behind it, and another 2 lines that go behind it. So kind of create the depth. So I learned how to create depth by just doing line exercises, right? So let me see if I have my notebook. I do have my notebook here. Let me see if I can show you guys the line exercises. Don't laugh. It's not something that this. So this is the time of line exercises I did, right? And I used to do this type of line exercises all the time. Okay. So you start with just the main one. Like look, this is the one that sits on top. So I start with the main one here, right? And then I just create them. They all go in behind other lines, and then you go smaller and smaller and smaller. This is how you learn to put anything, petals behind each other, anything, because you learn where do you need to stop with the line, right? It's a really good exercise. And like I was saying, this is my notebook where I was just doing things. I'm just testing. For example, this design, really nice, pretty flat, this design. So, you know, almost every day I sometimes just doodle, and then I learn how to do the petals behind each other. Okay, and I think this type of exercises are really useful, and it's very good in the beginning. It's very good in the beginning to just start with it and to you know, just do it. So just lines, people, just lines. That's all I'm saying. And then your hand gets used to make it lines like this or lines like this. Your hand gets used to the motion. Okay, this is very important. Okie dokie. Now I've done that flower, I've done that flower. I think I need some more leaves here and maybe a flower here, and then we're gonna do leaves and berries all around, and here were some berries, maybe some extra anemones here. Okay, let's get cracking. I'm just gonna start with the leaves, to be honest. So I'm just gonna start with the leaves because I know these berries I'm gonna need some leaves. And so leaves, start with the middle and then fill in the other parts, okay? If you can follow the form, the better. Okay, now I'm gonna add some berries, left and right. Berries, 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 berries behind, berries above, berries here, berries here. I did the same with the circles, okay? I learned how to draw circles by drawing lots of circles that go in and out of each other and that go behind or on top of each other. It's a good exercise. And I know that people might think, oh, but that's gonna take me time, that's gonna, you know, indeed, it's going to take you time. So it all depends on you whether you want to decide, yeah, I think I want to learn how to draw this or not, or play around. It's very satisfying though to do the lines, to be honest. For me, they were really satisfying. And it's quite fun, I would say. You can even color them in. I had some notebooks where I was just doing line work, like different patterns, and I would just color in patterns, like each part of the pattern with a different color, which is so funny, right? Okay, so this is another cluster of berries, right? Looks pretty nice. I think it needs another leaf here, which is going to come like this. Okay, there we go. Another leaf tucked in there. We're gonna decide that this one also needs some leaves, like this flower also needs some leaves, so you know, let me rotate. Some people might think, oh, Claudia doesn't have a life because she's always drawing like this and she's always doing things. But for me, the most relaxing part is to draw this while watching a movie. Because especially movies that I've already seen before. So I sometimes like to rewatch certain movies, like, I don't know, Avengers or Lord of the Rings or anything. And I already know the story. I kind of already know what it is. So I don't need to always look at the movie, right? I just need to hear it and I just need to sometimes look and refresh my eyes. So for this reason, I'm gonna do some berries here. For this reason, I like to draw this while watching movies. Okay. I'm super hoping that people can see what I'm doing here. The same way with the berries. The berries are going to be maybe these are like those they're not berries, they're like the red seeds from those special roses Don't know if you guys remember the roses. They're pink roses like that, and then this one starts being created and it's red. So I'm going to put the stamen of this one behind. Okay. And this is how, if you put things behind, this is how you make your designs not flat. Okay, because it just creates depth. And although all the flowers look kind of the same, look kind of like from the front, right? It still creates super big depth. What other type of leaves? It's gonna be some long leaves like this. Don't know why, I just wanted some long leaves like this. Okay, maybe this one. Okay. Drawing is hard. But the nicest part is once you have a drawing like this, then you can set it aside. I will always do a new one, and I would always go, and whenever I have time, I just color them in, right? I think irrespective of it, I think I like sometimes more to do the line art than I necessarily like to color things in. Don't know why. I'm just assuming that I like the line art more. And my style is very different. Like, there are some watercolor artists, really good watercolor artists, I will have to say. They do really amazing watercolor art, but to be honest, they do like really loose watercolors. Loose watercolors are not necessarily my style, because I just don't like loose watercolors. I like my line art, and I like everything to have a line art. Okay, so what did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, soon there's gonna be 8th of March and 8th of March is usually the time, and I'm going to do another small flower here. International Women's Day, another anemone from the side. And I was just remembering when everything was opened and we can actually go and have fun. We could go with all the girls and have really enormous amounts of fun. And I kind of miss that, but I'm hoping I can celebrate it this year or maybe next year, and then we're gonna give a big party with all the girls. Okay. And now the next question is, do I have any favorite flowers? And the answer is not really. I like all the flowers. I mean, I even draw carnivore flowers sometimes. You know, yeah, I really enjoy drawing flowers. It doesn't matter which flowers they are, as long as they're nice. You see, now I'm doing the stem of this anemone in the back. It really looks really nice. Okay, so, and I'm going to do another leaf here, and I'm going to follow up like this. And this leaf is really going to be, I'm going to make a thicker stem here in the middle, and this leaf is going to be like tucked in between all of these leaves. Okay, that's it. And the funny part is when you do leaves like this, or when you do things like this, this is a different type of leaf This is more like eucalyptus leaf, okay? And especially this part. Eucalyptus leaves have these two petals in different angles, right? And these are really nice leaves to have. And now I did a boo-boo because I should not have done that. I should not have done the eucalyptus leaves like this. And I'm going to try to pretend that these leaves are behind. Okay. Dum dum dum. I'm going to do some more berries here in this area. And I still have this part to do. And then we can add the things. But I hope you're enjoying it so far. I know it takes a bit longer. Usually because I have it already sketched, it doesn't take that long, but it is what it is. Now we need to take our time. And do this. Okay. Maybe I'll tuck in some very tiny leaves here. Down, down, down. I have this melody in my mind called that goes like dun dun dun. So I'm going to do some this is kind of a tiny composition, tiny leaves. They go all around like this, and then we're gonna have some things pop up like this, some tiny berries onto the leaves, and the leaves will go behind. These are tiny leaves that you use to just fill out space, okay? Just like they're fillers. There's not much to it other than fillers, okay? So I kind of finished all around here. So all that is left is this side. And what I'm thinking here on this side is that this one needs, again, a different leaf. And this leaf needs to be like this. Okay. And it's gonna have a tinier leaf like this. What flower should I do here? Yeah, watching how everything comes together. Okay, yeah, thank you. What I think I would like to do here. So we had 2 roses. We have this one here. This one could be another flower from the front, or it could be a variation of this one. So let me think, which one will look nicer? Okay, we're gonna do a variation of the zinnia, but it's gonna be actually more like chrysanthemum. How do we do that? We start with the same kind of top. So okay, it's the same type of middle. Okay. The only thing is now we're gonna start doing some tear shapes, right? Do you need planning to make a complicated artwork like this? No, and let me explain why. Like, if I wouldn't have known how to draw these flowers, then I would have need planning. But because I've done all of these flowers so many times, right, I kind of know how they look. So my mind or my hand draws them automatically. So I don't necessarily need planning. I just need the tiny thing in the beginning where I'm thinking, what are my main flowers, right? In which clusters they're gonna be, and where I'm going to position the elements like the berries, because those elements are the ones that I need. All these other parts I don't plan, I just go along, and I know that that's not a satisfying answer because I just go along. But for me, that is the process. I just go along with the flow, right? I don't have a planning for this flower. I'm just gonna add petals one after the other until I think it looks nice. Okay, but this really just is because of the practice. Like, if I wouldn't have practiced all of these flowers many times, I wouldn't have been able to do this. And maybe I would have struggled, and then you do need a plan and you do need to do it. But the reason why I like doodling, and I consider this doodling, these are not, I don't think these flowers are necessarily realistic. I don't know what you guys think, but I consider them doodle flowers. I don't consider them realistic. Like, these are not, they might look like real flowers, but in reality they're much more complicated if you wanted to do realistic. So in a way, it's a bit like intuition how you do it, but it's also just because I've done it so many times. I mean, that notebook that I showed you, I have many notebooks of just that. I have many notebooks of just doing that type of flowers. Like, I was just reading today the Inktober book from Jake Parker, and he had a quote in there. He's like, draw one thing 50 times. So choose something that you're not very good at and draw it 50 times on a page. So draw it 50 times until your mind and your like, I don't think anymore when I'm drawing these petals. My hand does the work for me, right? Because I draw it so many times. So that's it, right? I can't explain it more than this. And I just chose some flowers that I like to draw and that I think would be dramatic, right? I don't need to learn all the flowers in the world, because not all of them will be as dramatic as this one. Okay. What a fun exercise I did was learning how to draw petals from different sides, because theoretically all the flowers, they kind of have the same type of petals, so it's not that much of a difference in petal wise or anything. So I'm going to do the stem for this one, because this is onto the side, and then I'm going to rotate a little bit, and I'm going to start adding sorts of leaves. And these leaves I'm going to do different. So I'm going to do a line like this, a line like this, a line like this, a line like this. Okay, these are nice shaped leaves, and I'm looking at all the flowers and I'm thinking, which are the flowers that I would like to learn how to draw. And another tip, I'm drawing for the purpose of doing watercolor. Okay, the type of flowers I choose are the types of flower that are suitable for watercolor. That means they have to have big petals and big areas that you can color in and that you can do gradients. Like if you don't have that, and you can draw really beautiful flowers, but if they're too tiny or if they're don't have enough space, then you're gonna struggle when you have to color in with watercolor. And then what you gonna do? So that's why I'm saying, for me, I don't need to learn all the flowers in the world how to draw. I just need to learn the flowers that will help me make something beautiful in watercolor, right? And these are the flowers would be petals, like roses, like peonies, anemones, like these big leaves and beautiful things. So that's kind of what I do. What I do like is sometimes to watch tattoo designs. Man, tattoo designs are the things that I'm always fascinated by it, because it's kind of the same style as I'm employing here. Tattoos needs to look kind of 3D, but on a flat surface, right? And they don't need to be super complicated. So hence why I'm doing this. Okay, I need to fill in this part. So I'm gonna make a leaf. Okay, and that leaf is gonna be like this. It's gonna be behind so that I cover up this part. And in here, I'm just going to do one of those olive leaves that goes behind. So maybe what I'll do is I'll make my own tattoo. You know, eventually I can make my own tattoo. I think it needs a few of these ones in this side. Does this answer your question, Johan? Do I need a big plan? I guess the plan will be if I add anything other than flowers. What happens is I'm not very good at drawing other stuff other than flowers. So, yeah, that might make it like objects, like humans, like cats. That's the one that I need, because you need to put them into context. Like flowers, they all look together very good. Flowers look perfect, right? You don't need to change much. There are not that many flowers that don't work together, I would say. However, if you add a human in there, you have to put it in perspective. Like, where does the human look? In which direction? Or where does the kitty look? What's the flow of the kitty? What's that's when you need planning, and that's when I am not good. Flowers only, that's okay. That I can do super easy. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Once I'm finishing up certain areas here, I'm just gonna add maybe some different leaves here just to fill in the space. Okay, and maybe a different leaf here. Then we're gonna go in and add the details. Always add the details at the end, as in the lines, the hatching. Like always add it at the end. Which other direction should I do? I'm trying to fill everything, but not everything. Okay, I think I'm satisfied so far with this. I hope you guys are as well. Okay, so let's spend the next, I don't know, 10 minutes or so just to add details. So let's start with this one. I think I'm just going to want to do stamen on this one. So notice how I do the stamen. I do one long, one short, not all on the same size or on the same direction. Creates interest. I don't know what flower it is. I only know how to draw petals, so it could be that it is a flower in real life. You never know. By the way, a birthday person, I hope you got really nice presents and that you also got some flowers. Okay, so now what can I do? I did the stamen here. I'm just going to do some hatching here and some hatching here. It doesn't have to be all the same. It could be from different sides. Flowers. Okay. For my birthday, I would like flowers. Hint, hint, hint. You see how just adding these details, the flowers really start to pop. And you really see the motion of the flower. Okay? Just by adding just a few little details. Okay? So that was one. The rose. So there's two types of things that you can do the rose. You can signify that the petal is opening and is curving that way, or the petal can be curving this way. So let's try. I can signify that the curvature is like this. So follow the shape of the petals. Okay. Okay, this petal was bigger. I really like roses because you can do them both ways. Okay, doesn't it look better right now with just a few lines of hatching? Okay, that was that flower. Now anemone. This is a peony. So peony, I'm just gonna add some lines. And the lines follow the shape of the petal. The lines follow the curvature of the petal, right? For example, this petal looks like it's curving a little bit. And I'm going to add a little bit like this, right? So add these little nooks to show how's this petal curving, okay? This petal is moving in this direction. This is moving in this direction. This might be like this. And this might be like this. I'm not always very precise. But, you know, just adding a few little nooks can make it or break it. Okay. I forgot about this one. So, yeah. This is okay. Really flowers or paper flowers? What do you mean by that? I didn't catch that one, sorry. Yeah, these are flowers that only exist on paper, okay? That's why I say they're paper flowers. You can also add different things like dots. You can make more flowers from the side. But I find that actually on the flowers on the side, you need a little bit more planning. Don't necessarily always manage to do them very good. So usually always kind of a piece like this, if I don't talk and if I don't say anything, a piece like this, which is slightly smaller than A4, will take me about an hour. And usually when I watch a movie or a series, I watch multiple episodes in the same time. And then I would do 3 or 4 of this. 3 or 4 of this, depending how much I'm watching, how much I'm noticing, and so on. I'm going to do this flower a little bit, and then I'm going to add details to the leaves and to the berries, okay? Because details are important. And what am I going to do with this dahlia? I hope you can actually see. Let's do it like this. I'm adding the direction in which the petals are curved. I might not be very precise though. I might mistake some curved ones by, okay. Not everything is curved, but yeah. So the way I do the curve is I choose a side and I just do a squiggly line like this. Okay. So I think these petals also need a line in the middle to show what the direction is. Okay, and I think I've covered them pretty well. Anemones. I'm going to do some lines like this. Again, the lines are following the petals. Okay, and they can start either by the side or by the other part. Okay. Did I do all of them? Like this one doesn't need lines, but maybe this anemone needs some lines. Okay, and now let's do the leaves. I mean, these ones I already did, but like this one I think it requires some the veins like this. And of course, this is the simplest thing you can do, because you can definitely go much different, much bolder, and you can definitely do different type of veins and so on. But for me, these are the simplest ones that I can do, and it's enough for me. Sometimes I feel fancy and I do fancy stuff. Today I don't feel that fancy, so I'm not gonna do any fancy stuff. What else? Okay, this one. For example, you could do these fancy things like squiggly line. Don't make them too symmetrical. Okay, and these are the veins of the leaf. Actually, the eucalyptus has really nice, always nice veins, so I'm going to make sure that we have some nice veins in here. Okay. Oh, no. This one I could. So this one I could do this other way, like. It creates a variation, okay? It doesn't have to be super precise. It doesn't have to be the same everywhere. Okay. So what did you guys think so far of the designs? Let me rotate this. This type of designs I would like to also make into a sort of coloring book or something like that, because these are really nice to color. You can color them, of course, with color pencils, and feel free to download. But I'm pretty sure that you can do a lot of things. With watercolor, but you just have to transfer it yourself. I wouldn't try to print such a thing directly on watercolor paper. I did that, right? So let me tell you how it went. It went really bad. Watercolor paper is a bit too thick for the printers. Most printers. There are just a few printers on the market that would accept a 300 GSM, but those printers are usually very, very, very expensive. So I wouldn't buy them just because they're so expensive. And what I would do is have a light box and transfer it with the light box. Okay, these are different type of leaves. I haven't done them before that much, so designs, it looks okay. This type of leaves, let me see what I can do with this type of leaves. These aren't really nice, but I think this needs to follow the curve of the leaf. Okay, and have some lines like this. Okay, and this one will also follow the curve. And you can do so many things with leaves to fill them in. But I think I'm approaching to the end, so before I check out, thank you so much for watching till the end. I really appreciate if you can give this this video a thumbs up, because it really helps, and it helps with the YouTube algorithm and everything, just so that more people can see this live stream than just now. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. I do live streams 2 times a week most of the times, and from time to time I do add extra videos, so you can see that I have videos with just speed paint and things that I do, lots of coloring, which are shorter, but they're still very nice. So consider subscribing if you haven't yet done so. I think the last remaining part that I'm going to do is you have to add some details on to the berries, okay? So the berries have this thingy here. I think what I need to improve and what I need to do better in design sometimes. Okay, I think this one requires another petal that goes and ends up like here, because that needed a little bit of more stuff. Sometimes I draw lots of flowers, but then when I try to color them in, I do too many flowers of the same time next to each other, and then I need to use different colors, and I end up using way too many colors than what I need. So yeah, anyway. Okay, look how beautiful they look like when you add just a little touch of. They really seem then that they are berries, right? You can see that I need to practice my berries. Like this one was much better, and with this one, than the first ones that I did. So I think there's something that I need to practice some more, and I'll probably do that. Okay, I think I leave these ones because these ones I just want to color in. So this is about it. This was my drawing for tonight. So wow, 1 hour and 25 minutes, probably because I talked too much. Usually would have been much faster. But I again thank you all for joining me and for being here with me. Again, happy birthday to everybody that has their birthday today. And I hope to see you next time, where I probably get to color this one on the next live stream, because this is a really nice design that why not? It's really worth it to draw it, to do it. I still have some pencil lines, but I'm not going to erase right now. The tip I always have is wait a little bit a day until you erase any pencil lines that you have. So I had some circles done so I can kind of see the design, because then the black doesn't run the it won't smear. Okay, so again, thank you, and I see you guys next time. Okay, bye.